Hey everybody, this is Izzy here coming to you with my review of the Elton John fantasy biopic, Rocketman. And I want to give you a little insight on my familiarity with Elton John. My dad was the one who initially introduced me to the music of Elton John when we first moved here to Shaw Air Force Base, or Sumter, South Carolina, mind you. And his favorite song in his college years was Benny and the Jets. And I bought Elton John's greatest hits, and they had the Benny and Jets song on there, and I would listen to it, but then I would also listen to his other songs from on the Greatest Hits compilation. And from then on, I became an Elton John fan. He is just one of the greatest musical geniuses to have ever graced the music field. When we first moved here, I went through a very deep and severe depression, and the only thing that really helped me get through that dark period was the music of Elton John. Elton John's music has gotten me through a very dark and trying time, and from then on, I owe a lot of my, I don't want to say happiness, but I owe a lot of me overcoming depression, if you will, just because of Elton John's music. I mean, he's played a very important, essential role in my life as far as overcoming depression, just appreciating music, and it's been my dream to meet the man. So hopefully one day in the future I'll be able to shake his hand and thank him for all the wonderful contributions that he's made to music. With that said, Rocketman is, I know there have been a lot of fans who were initially upset with the fact that this film wasn't the most, or isn't the most accurate depiction of the Elton John life, if you will. It's a fantasy biopic, so it's more about the music being told through the story rather than simply understanding or embracing the struggles that Elton John experienced throughout his career. And also, there have been a lot of complaints regarding the timeline of the songs as well. The timeline of Elton John's career, if you will, it's obviously there's going to be a lot of details, there's going to be a lot of exaggerations in order for it to be readily accessible for the viewing audience. Anyone who is a huge Elton John fan like myself, we know what songs where he played at the Troubadour. We know how many times he attempted to commit suicide. We know about his drug use. We know what songs came out, or when he and Bernie Taupin, pretty tired. But when him and Bernie wrote those songs, so it's not necessarily something that I feel like it's something that we should get upset about. But that's either here nor there. But I will say, Rocketman, it's a great film. It's a great fantasy biopic film. That's strictly what it is, and it reminds me of a lot of Across the Universe. That is a film that anyone who remembers that film is told. The story is told through the music of the Beatles. But Rocketman is a very special and unique film. You have Taron Egerton, who plays the role of Elton John, who does an amazing job. I mean, I will say there were many scenes where he's the literal spitting image of Elton John. Looks exactly like him. There were a lot of people who were comparing it to Bohemian Rhapsody, and while Bohemian Rhapsody is an amazing film, they're two different storylines and they're two different films. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to try to compare the two, but I could definitely see where there are some similarities. But as I said, Terry Egerton did a wonderful job. The only complaint that I have is that I wish and this is where my Bohemian Rhapsody, I guess, connection comes in. Whereas Rami Malek, they didn't have him sing the songs of Queen. They actually had him lip sync Freddie Mercury's, the vocal lines of Freddie Mercury, because Freddie Mercury has such a recognizable and identifiable voice that it's hard to replicate that sense of talent and magic that he bestowed when he was on stage or even in the studio. While I do give credit for Taron for actually singing the songs and playing the piano and actually performing a lot of complicated dance moves throughout the film, Elton John's voice is really suited for those songs, obviously, because they are his songs. And for anyone else to attempt to sing them like him, or even try to do their own version of it, it just doesn't seem quite as suited for me personally. Because when I find myself watching this film, I was literally I could not get Elton John's voice out of my head when I heard Your Song, Border Song, Benny and the Jets, I'm Still Standing, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Crocodile Rock. Those are the songs that or even, I guess that's why they call it the blues, or sorry seems to be the hardest word. When I hear those songs, I hear Elton John's voice. And while Taron Egerton, I don't want to say he has the worst singing voice, because he really doesn't, but it's just not, I don't feel his voice is suited for those type of songs. But other than that, I mean, he did an amazing job. I love the overall tone that the film is presented in. It maintains a very fantastical look. As far as the details of Elton John's life is concerned, we see his beginnings as a child, of him discovering music and trying to hone his talent, his relationship with his mother and his father, which we knew going in that his relationship with his father wasn't the best. His father didn't really think he was going to be a success at what he wanted to do. And in the film, the relationship with his mother is very, very different from what we know and have researched about him, because he had a very strong connection with his mother, and his mother was more concerned about the fact that he was killing himself with drugs. So we have Elton John as a child, Elton John meeting Bernie Taupin, and them writing songs together and starting to garner success. Then we have Elton John struggling with his success and with his drug use, and then attempting to commit suicide, and then of course we have him overcoming those demons. It's a great film. I did enjoy it. I will say there is, obviously, anyone who knows Elton John knows that he is, he's out the closet, and there is some sex scenes with him engaging in, consensual acts with other men. I will say anyone who feels uncomfortable about that aspect of his life, I don't know what to tell you, except probably just get over it. I mean, we already know the lifestyle we already know the lifestyle that he lives, and he seems very happy. So, hey, that doesn't take away his talent. So, the scenes aren't that long anyway. So just deal with it, I reckon. But either way, it's an enjoyable film. It's an enjoyable story. I highly recommend it. I really do, because I feel like this film is for anyone who enjoys and embraces the music of Elton John. And as someone who loves, I love the music of Elton John. Still listen to him to this very day. I was sitting in the theater and I was quite surprised that I had it all to myself, but I could not help but just sing along to the songs and tap my feet. And Elton John's music brings so much joy to people overall in life, and he has played a central role in shaping the very foundation of music. I mean, I can't think of a music world without Elton John. That's how important he is. I said the same thing about Michael Jackson, Prince, and unfortunately those two artists are gone. But it's just when Elton John, whenever that unfortunate day comes, that will be a huge, huge loss to the music community. But this film is something that I feel everyone should go out to see. If you appreciate great music, you'll love this. If you want to see great acting talent with Taron Egerton, you'll enjoy this as well. I mean, granted, I will say, there have been, as much as I love Taron Egerton, there are days when there are certain films where I watch him or I see him out and about on TV or in magazine articles. I just think Eggsy from Kingsman. But either way, it's great. I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed for anyone who wants to just go to a movie theater and listen to great music and experience the life of Elton John told through his music. I give it a 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up. Recommend it. Go see it. Take a friend with you. I will say it's not a film that you should take your kids to, because there is profanity, there is drug use, and there is sexual situations that young kids should not be exposed to, especially at the ages of 2 and below, where I have personally seen parents bring their kids to watch this film. So please do not bring your kids to this film. There is a lot of mature subject matters that I don't think they should be exposed to at this point in time in their life. But as far as anything else is concerned, highly recommend it. Very entertaining, raw, emotional, has a very unique, fantastical feel to it that I think was necessary in order to attempt to capture the life of Elton John told through his music. And it's larger than life, it's colorful, it's zany, it's quirky, and it has just about everything that you could want as far as presenting his existence. But I hope everyone goes to see it. This is my review for it, and I hope everyone has a safe night. Take care, and I will see you guys again soon. My next review will be Toy Story 4 and Child's Play. So be on the lookout for those next week, and take care, my friends. Peace out.